Welcome back to Dad Bods and Hot Rod's Garage. Today the Mercury gets a new home.
We are headed out. The car's been sold and to a gentleman that's about three and a half hours away from where I live. And we were looking for transport companies to transport the car, but it's so shady nowadays. You put out a bid and the lowest bidder comes in and maybe not the lowest price, but the quickest turnaround time. And a lot of the times it just turns into a really big hassle. I've dealt with them a couple of times and I'm not impressed at all with the shipping companies now. And logistically, the individual buying the car, he has a trailer and a truck, but his trailer can't handle the length of the Mercury Meteor. We found a gentleman that rents trailers near my house for like $125 for a 24-hour period, which is great. So we rented the trailer and I got my pickup, I loaded it up, and I'm taking the car to him. It's going to go to a good home. He's going to finish what I had started with it. He's going to keep the patina paint and work on all the drivability issues, which there aren't many left. It drives really nice. He's just going to use it as a weekend car show cruiser car. You know, driver here and there and go to little cars and coffees, that sort of thing. The kind of stuff that I was wanting to do with the car, he's going to do the same. So this is the sad last voyage of the Mercury Meteor in my possession. When I picked the car up, it had been sitting in a barn. Maybe not the exact barn that I had pulled it out of, but it had been parked since 1997, 98, somewhere in there. I think 98, because the plates say 99. Well, as you saw in the videos, if you watched the videos, we pulled it out of the barn, pressure washed it, did the will it run, found the motor was bad, I replaced the motor, the transmission was bad, replaced the transmission, I replaced all the brakes and the entire fuel system, new wheels and tires, did the wipe on clear coat, my script garage wipe on clear coat, cleaned out all the floors, put 415 down on the floors where the paint was gone, put some sound deadener down, put new carpet in, just put some truck seat covers over the factory upholstery. So the next individual can determine if they want to reupholster the seats back to original from the factory or do something custom with them. But it's been a fun project, trying to sort all that stuff out and figure it out, and all the problems along the way. Bought a cheap Chinese carburetor, which they're not the greatest at all, and it's a good band-aid for now, but I would definitely get a Ford Motorcraft 2150 two-barrel carburetor, and I'd replace that Chinese one with the Ford Motorcraft product as quick as possible. But it does the job. So in the last few days, I got all the lights fixed. I got the turn signals to work. They blink turning right. They don't blink turning left. So maybe I didn't get them fixed. But at least you can use the turn signal to signal your left-hand turns. And the cancel cam works. The brake lights work, the headlights work, the high beams do not work. I think the dimmer switch is bad. And I bought a dimmer switch, but the prongs on it were horizontal instead of vertical. Or vertical instead of horizontal. So it didn't plug in, didn't work. And then the horn works. If you hit the horn button in just the right spot, the horn will work. Had to adjust the dwell on the points and the timing and played with that quite a bit, but I've got her really spot on, pretty perfect. She fires right up and runs great. The transmission shifts good. It shifts pretty hard, so I think the vacuum modulator is bad or it needs adjusted because it shifts pretty hard. I got the windshield wipers to work. Those are vacuum operated windshield wipers. So vacuum from the engine powers the wiper motor. And I tried it for a long time. I couldn't get it to work. And finally, as I was messing with the timing, I forgot I'd left it on. And the windshield wiper jumped up. And it went up another half inch, and another half inch, and another half inch, and another half inch, and another half inch, until it went all the way up to the top, and then came back down. And at that point, I realized, oh, the blades on there, the blades are really bad, probably scratching the glass. So I stopped, Costco was having a sale on wiper blades for $10 a blade. The cheapest generic kind you can get, but I bought a set of 16-inch ones and they fit the car perfectly. So I was pretty stoked about that. So I took apart the wiper transmission and I greased everything, put it back together, and they work great. That's kind of cool that they work really well. Now the dome light comes on, all the dash lights come on. The fuel gauge doesn't work, even though it's a new fuel sending unit and a new gas tank. I believe it's something in the wiring or the gauge itself in the dash, one of the two. I have aftermarket gauges mounted under the kick panel or under the bottom of the dash. You can see them from the driver's side. It has water temp, oil pressure, and voltage. And that's another thing with the voltage regulator tests good. The generator isn't outputting any voltage. It puts out maybe 2. So I think the generator is bad. And the cost to buy a replacement generator to go back all original is about the same as the cost would be to convert it to a conventional alternator and do away with the voltage regulator and be a one-wire system. They're more efficient, they're better. Obviously, they're better. But once again, we want to keep the originality of the car. Everything on the car is as original as possible. And obviously, it doesn't have numbers matching motor and transmission anymore because I replaced both of those. But everything else on and in the car is original to that car. And I thought, well, the next owner may want to, maybe a purist, or may want to keep it that way and just buy a generator. So with a good charged battery, it'll run for a good long while, unless you got the headlights on or something. So this individual, I believe, is going to just put a generator on it and keep it original. The car needs, it needs a few things. I haven't touched any of the suspension components, or the shocks, or the ball joints, or the steering. I haven't touched any of that stuff. And my plan was to tear into all of that at some point and replace all those components. But my circumstances have changed. I have to downsize some of my fleet. If you call it a fleet, I've got 5 cars. But I've got to downsize. And the Mercury was never really to be a car I kept for a long time. Glad it's going to a good home. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's not really. Hold on a second. It's not released all the way. Is there like a something on that lever?
Did pull that lever all the way up? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Okay, so the new owner has the car now. We're going to take it for a quick drive. Such an awesome ride. I'll go ahead and let you get turned. Bring my little jump pack just in case.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I got one of those too. In the golf cart.
Those things are awesome.
Yes, they are. How many starts you get out of those? You think?
I don't know. I've only had it a little while.
I only use mine like one at a time, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah, the exhaust clamp bolts are hanging down. That's what's dragging.
Oh, okay.
Turn them in to be fine. Once you get the exhaust over, you won't need them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got a good exhaust guy I always go to.
Nice. I gotta get my Chevelle over to my guy and have him weld the exhaust on, and it'll be ready for cruising. Yeah, the car sits really low.
It does, yeah. Probably original springs and everything. They're usually always shot,
Right?
but it looks good though, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the more I drove it around, I was like, I'm falling in love with the car.
I know, man. It's just got a cool vibe to it.
Then at my buddy's shop, he's like, man, the longer you leave this car here, the more I want to buy it. He said, well, my wife will kill me. I just bought a Camaro. And
Hopefully I'm in the right gear.
yeah, I think you are. Yeah.
I've got it over drive. Is it correct there?
I think so. You can always go up one. If it goes into neutral, you're on.
We'll find out. Let me go up.
Yeah. That's down.
Gotcha. All right, cool. There we go. Figured it out. Man, these things just float.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh man,
It just floats away. Nice and smooth. The seat's comfortable.
yes, I would.
The vacuum modulators on those are adjustable.
Yeah, they
And I'm either getting a lot of vacuum from the carburetor to it, it needs to be adjusted, or the vacuum modulated a little more before it gets to the modulator. It goes into gear kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And other than that, it seems to be fine.
Yeah, my Marauder did that. And, I never did do anything to it. I just kind of kept it the way it was. But I had a Falcon that it had the older seat. There we go.
Because they're vacuum operated. When you give it the throttle, there's no vacuum. Let off the throttle, there's vacuum.
That's awesome. It's not nothing nice, but it's just a driver, you know.
It is nice. And you said that's on an S10 chassis?
It's on an S10.
That's nice. Now, there's a company that sells the mount kit, pulls the body mounts out from the frame.
Yeah.
It's on those, right?
Yeah, they do. I didn't build this. It
Okay.
wasn't finished when I got it.
Okay.
Put a hood on it. I've got some running boards off of COE.
Oh, yeah.
It needed running boards. It just didn't look right.
Right.
Didn't have a bumper. I put a bumper on it. And these little, but the guy did a pretty good job. He mounted a flatbed. You can see these little sheet metal panels. It kind of hides the frame.
Yeah. Yeah, good job.
I was going to eventually put like a toolbox there or something like under bed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it's just a driving truck there. You drive it, reliable, and I got to readjust the hood. When these were built, you know, if you don't have the same hood that came with this tab,
Yeah.
it's never going to fit right because they were built with a hammer, you know. It's dirty on here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Nice. Lots of room in there, too, it
Yeah.
seems. I love those air cleaners.
Yes, I do too, man. I love the caddy air cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, but yeah, this is just a good daily truck.
That's really nice.
I drove it every day for a long time. And it's just, you know, people back then were a lot smaller than we are now.
Yeah.
The cabs are not that roomy. And this is kind of the same thing. It's just, I actually use this. So.
That's the one you're saying that you use the whole rock?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I usually use it now for dirt.
Yeah.
And, you know, like compost, stuff like that. But small loads, you know. But I actually use it. It eventually will get me there.
Wow.
I've got, you know, gates for it. They're just on the ground. But,
Oh yeah.
I got to redo I got to put some new door cards in it, headliner, but I keep it so busy I don't have time to work on it. But it just goes and goes. Man.
Yeah, right. Nice.
An old, I think, yeah, that's my old car model.
Yeah, that's pretty
I built that bike out of a kit. That's I always wanted an old Indian.
Yeah.
And that's like a 1912-ish, 14-ish replica. I built from parts. It looks like crap in here right now, but my idea with that was I don't have time for it, but on top of that, I'm letting it naturally patina.
Yeah, yeah.
So
there you go.
Because I want it to look old. It looked new, and it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, but
nice.
yeah, I used to carry it around in my ranch area. Everybody would look at the bike more in the car.
Yeah, yeah. That's a thing nowadays.
So many people's like, "Is that a real Indian? That's 100,000." I'm like, no.
If it was, it wouldn't be in the back of my car, right?
Not many people knew. But, I mean, it's the only thing that's been done. Aluminum rad.
Yeah.
12 volted.
Yeah.
And the new wiring harness. But I still got to finish up things. But I
Is it
mean,
a 235 or?
it's been replaced, but it is an early 235.
Yeah.
The original stove bolt, you know, they had the studs here and here.
Yeah.
And they were a terrible engine. Babbitt bearings and all.
Yeah, that's what was in my 53 when I bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that out and put an LS motor in.
Yeah. But this is, I think, a 54 model. I think it's got the road draft tube still, you know.
Yeah.
They don't have any, you know, emissions at all. But, man, you just fired up and it goes.
Wow.
I mean, it's an old workhorse, and
that's really nice.
Kind of wild. 70-some years later, still use it as what it is. You know? And yeah, this is a Greenbrier.
Yep. I looked for one of these for a long time and never found one that was nice enough. Right.
Trash. This one was not perfect when I got it. I got on the eBay sight unseen, and it got here, and it was full of cancer underneath.
Oh wow.
And had all that redone. The floors are still in it, the original.
Nice.
All this down here, I had basically just had it painted up to the white.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just had to be completely redone.
Yeah, I love the baby moons.
Yeah, it fits it.
It's a beautiful truck.
Thank you. I really want one of the ramp side trucks in one of these.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they are somewhere in here. I've got all of the original stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, here, let's see, somewhere in there. Yeah, there it is. There's the original bill sale, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it came out of Virginia, so it's sold out of Vaughn, Chevrolet, and Cadillac.
Oh, wow.
And
it was $1,195?
That might have been, wait a minute, he paid, oh, okay.
That was a down payment.
That was a down payment. Total was $3249.85.
$3249. Wow.
He got the most of the options. 4-speed, manual radio, wheel trim covers, direct air heater, custom equipment, soaking rear seats. So he bought $518.20 in options.
Wow. And back then, $500 was a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, Lynchburg, that's where it came from originally. It was sold.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a cool, man. We've had it a while, and I thought about letting it go here in the next year or so, and just move on and go to something new. And it's not perfect. They'll do the interior and all that, blah blah. But I don't do that stuff. I just leave them as they are.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not terrible. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not terrible at all.
No, it's just a little dirty and.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've got one of these in my Bel Air. It's Coca-Cola, red and white, and it's mounted over here. And inside is my battery for the car.
Right.
So you open up, it's my battery box.
Yeah, I've got a fan built in there and all kinds of different tools. You know, but there's the old.
Yeah, the engine's down there. It's so easy to work on.
Yeah, it is actually. You take this whole panel back here out.
Yeah.
You're just right on top.
Right on top. Nice.
But it's original engine in it. You know.
Well, goodbye, old girl. It was great working with you. Enjoy your new life. Thanks again for watching Dad Bods and Hot Rods Garage. We'll see you on the next one.